loved this film.
Yeah? Oh,
God,
good.
brilliant.
Oh,
I don't know how you did it though. I would have been exhausted after shooting this.
really? I loved it. Yeah, I had a great time.
Claire, so cool to meet you, and congratulations on this phenomenal film.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant performance.
Oh, thanks.
But before landing this role, you actually had to meet with Damien and Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
What was that first meeting like?
Well, they were happening in a sort of quick succession, really. I'd sort of talked to Damien on Skype, and then I did an audition in LA, and then he was like, let's go meet Ryan. And I was like, what, right now? And so then I went to meet Ryan, and we all had breakfast together, and it felt perfectly normal, which was very strange. But I just was so, I mean, even if it ended there, I just would have been like, thanks so much, because I just had such a lovely time. And they were both just extraordinary men, so I was very thrilled when they said I could do the film with them.
I was so emotionally drained watching this film. And then I was thinking about you. You had to actually give the performances. And I read there were some days where a shoot could last up to 12 hours.
Well, every shoot day lasts much longer than that, the majority of the time.
But how do you feel after that, especially during the really emotional scenes? How are you feeling at the end of the day? And then how do you go, okay, the next day, I'm ready for work again?
Well, it's sort of the sadomasochistic thing about being an actor, is that you only feel like you've really done it and had, you know, a good day at work, or that, you know, when you've achieved something is when at the end of the day you go, I don't want to feel any more feelings ever again in my life. You know, that's the thing about it, that you sort of, our exhaustion is nothing compared to the people who actually went through these things, and so it's very little in comparison, but that you do feel like that you've at least in some way done something with your day.
I kept watching this going, I can't believe the amount of risks everyone took, but Neil especially, like, the outcome could have been very different for him. We all have to take risks to achieve our dreams. Did you have to take any risks in pursuing this career?
I think it's less about risk-taking and more about not letting fear stop you. And I think that's what Neil had. Neil had absolute faith in himself, in the sense that, you know, ultimately what was the worst thing that would happen? He'd die. We're all going to die. And that he, you know, knew that he was a great pilot. He knew that he could get himself out of lots of different situations by breathing and thinking and just making a decision. But I think that's the thing in life. It just randomly taking mad risks is just not a good idea. Yeah. But not allowing fear to kind of stop you from doing something is sort of the way to do it, I reckon.
I read that Janet said, you know, she wasn't prepared for the fame that came with Neil walking on the moon. You've always been a consistently working actress. After The Crown, though, things have changed. How has life changed for you, and how do you handle that whole personal intrusion, people wanting a bit of you?
I'm very grateful for The Crown. I'm really, really proud of the work I did on it, and I cherish that whole experience. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, my life is exactly the same. And I the majority of the time, I find people are really respectful. And I suppose you just have to pick and choose what you hear, and hope that other people don't believe everything they read.
You've got so many different roles coming up now. How do you mentally go from one role to another? Is there a switch-off period that you do? Like, how do you go from one character to another?
I don't tend to do them one after another. I'm very much a believer in that you have to live your life in order to be able to act in general. And so I always try and give myself some time off, but weirdly with First Man, I went from playing Janet to Girl in the Spider's Web, to doing Lisbeth Salander. And you just have to, you just do. I mean, you know, essentially I'm playing all these characters, so I must have them all inside me somewhere. So you just have to kind of figure it out.
Well, thank you for figuring it out and giving us your films. Absolutely love them.
Oh, thank you very much.
Claire.
Very
Really
kind.